All right, so if you look at your handout, it tells you step by step how to turn your photograph into an Aboriginal style drawing. And if you haven't printed out your animal, that's okay. You can just look at your screen and draw from your screen. So what you want to do is just kind of follow along on the handout with me as I draw, okay? And I'm going to show you my thinking process. So I'm going to do this little guy. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember what he's called. I just found out about him today, but he's... What, honey? No, the musket bird, this little guy, he's a fish. This is I think it's called a quoll. Q-U-O-L-L, a quoll. But I thought he was really cute. So what I need to do is follow along here where it says, look at the animal's body and decide what basic shapes. So we're gonna start with some basic geometric shapes, like circles, ovals, triangles, squares, rectangles. Okay, which ones can you use to draw the different body sections? Okay, so I am gonna start with this guy's head. And you can even take like your pencil and not draw on your computer screen, but just kind of decide what shape will you start with. And his head is basically a circle. And remember, you guys, you're going to be simplifying this. So it's not supposed to be exactly like this. So I'm starting with a circle. And then I need to look at his body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pretend he doesn't have a tail, pretend he doesn't have legs, and just look at the shape of his body. And his body is kind of a fat oval. And that fat oval is going to go behind the circle that is his head. And remember, you guys, this is your sketch. This is where you're going to make all the changes until you get it exactly the way that you want. Right now it kind of looks like an olive with a pimento in it. Okay, so I got his head and I got his body. And also you want to think about proportions, like try to make the head the right size in relation to the body. If it's too small or too big, now would be the time to make it a little bigger and change it. Okay, so now I'm going to look at his legs. And if I look at this leg, it's kind of like a triangle. So I am going to make this leg into a triangle. And that triangle kind of starts right about the middle of his head. And you'll notice as I'm doing this, you guys, that a lot of my shapes overlap each other. So there's the triangle that's going to be this leg. And then this leg over here is kind of like a rectangle with an angle on it. So a rectangle with an angle like that. Okay, then what I need to do is look at this leg, and I'm not worrying about his little paws yet. And this leg too is kind of a big triangle. And it kind of runs into this one. So I'm going to make a triangle like this and kind of almost straight down. Okay, so this is what he looks like right now. All right, he's very geometric. Okay, now I told you guys to find a picture where you could see the whole body. I can almost see his whole tail. So I'm just going to have to kind of pretend that I can see his whole tail. I do remember seeing a picture where his tail kind of spiraled around. So what I could do is when I go to do like my big version, I could spiral it around or make it show. It's just not fitting on this piece of paper. Okay, and now I need to think about his ears, which are also like triangles, but a little more rounded. So he's almost cat-like in a way. And his ear comes way up beyond his back. I'll make that one a little bit bigger too. And you don't have to worry about little details right now. Now, as far as his feet and hands go, you'll notice on the handout it says, remember, hands and feet can be made using more than one shape. So it's not like you have to make one shape for his hands and feet. I am just going to simplify his feet into a shape like that and like that. Okay? That's all there is. I'm just making his hands and feet little ovals. Remember, we're really simplifying this. Okay? And I am going to put his nose in. And if I want to put his eyes in, I can, but you don't even have to. I mean, some of these are so simple, they really don't even have any facial features. All right, so I'm actually done drawing him. I'm done with step 1. Now it says combine the shapes into one body shape by erasing unnecessary lines. So now what I want to do is I want to go in, and wherever I have a line that I don't need one, I want to erase it to start to get his body to look like one shape rather than a whole bunch of shapes all put together. And you'll be able to start to see this coming together. And I've got a whole bunch of lines making up the circle of his head, so I'm going to erase all of the lines except for the one that I need. Okay, like that. And I'm going to make this a little bit more rounded. Okay, so I've erased all the lines that I don't need. Okay, and now I'm going to do step 3, which is to draw a second outline around the entire body. Now, at this point, you guys, remember that you can kind of refine the shapes as well. You know, if something is like really pointy and you want it to be more curvy, you can change that up a little bit. Get it exactly the way that you like it, that you're happy with how it looks. Okay, so now I'm going to draw that second outline. And what you want to do is you want to have an even amount of space between the animal's body and that second outline. And you want to keep that consistent as you go around the whole body. Now there's a lot of lines here, so I should probably clean this up so I just have like one line. Okay. And this will go right off the page. Whoops. And remember, you guys, you want to make this as perfect as you can, because this is what you're going to trace onto the overhead, the transparency, and then you're going to trace this onto your final paper. So your final drawing will look just like this. Almost done with my chubby little koala. What did I say it was called? Can't remember.
Q-U-I-L-L.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. All right, so there he is. He's looking very cute and very chubby. Okay, so I've got my second outline around the whole thing. And then last but not least, number 4, it says put a second outline around any interior shapes. So I'm also going to put a second outline around his head here. And then, whoops, I'm going to erase this line so the outlines kind of join together. I'm going to do one here as well. Okay, and there is my drawing. Okay, so as you can see, he's a very kind of abstracted and simplified little critter. Okay, and there you go. And I had done this kangaroo in a different class, so I'm going to leave these out for you guys to look at if you'd like to, and you have the rest of the period to work on your drawing, and this will be really helpful. Just make sure you're going step by step. Okay. All right, questions? Okay, drawing paper is right there, and you can begin, and I'll be happy to help you if you need help. Okay.